when was the last time you had such strong, fearful thoughts about an upcoming event, and then afterwards, once it was all done, the first thing you asked yourself was, why did I worry so much? Why did I waste so much time worrying about this? It was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Hello Ramblers of the world, I'm Chris, the Mindset Wingman, and thank you for joining me on another Mindful Ramble, where we talk all things mindset reset and how it aligns to our journey through life. And firstly, why am I wearing these natty wee glasses? Trying to start a new trend? Think it would work? No, the reason I'm wearing them is I've just had quite a serious eye procedure in my right eye, and I'm just wearing them to protect my eyes when I'm walking around, because I've got basically 5 days of recovery. And if you've been looking at any of my shorts, you might see I've got a bit of a bloodshot eye as well, and that just comes from when they were doing the procedure. They hit a blood vessel, so that'll take a few days to clear up as well. So yeah, that's why I'm wearing these natty glasses. But it moves me on nicely to what I started this video with. And before this procedure, I hate injections, I hate my eyeball being touched, all that kind of stuff. And so you can imagine the thoughts I was having. I've had injections in the eye before, but I've not had this new procedure where basically I get steroids implanted into my eye. So it's a lot different, a bit more painful, and it's a much more serious operation compared to what I've had in the past. So you can imagine my thoughts beforehand. The worst case scenario, I'm going to lose my eyesight, my eyeball's going to pop out, my eyeball's going to explode, all these kind of horrible thoughts that I was having. And then of course afterwards, once I walked out the theatre, or I was rolled out the theatre in a chair, which was quite strange, I did ask myself that question: why was I having such fearful thoughts? I mean, it wasn't pleasant at all, it was not nice, but at the same time nowhere near as bad as the thoughts that I was making up in my head. And this moves me on to the subject of today, which is the power of thoughts and the power that they can have over your life and how you progress through life, if you let them. They really can take over, and you have to find out ways to drag back control to yourself, because they're your thoughts, and if the thoughts you have, you'll end up living by them, or as they say, you are your thoughts. Somebody's chopping down trees, I think. A bit rude. Making a YouTube video. So the power of thoughts, and let's talk about thoughts about the past. Now that's one of the ones that we do let them take over our minds far too easily. But the thing about the ones from the past is they've gone, okay? So whatever mistakes you might have made, whatever went wrong, whatever actions you took that maybe you could have taken other actions, whatever you're thinking about from the past that you're worrying about or getting frustrated about, you've got to remember it's past. You can't control it, you cannot change it. The only thing you can do, as I always say and I always reiterate, all you can do is learn from it to stop it happening again in the future. But the main thing is you need to notice when you start having these kind of thoughts, especially about the past, because it is such a waste of time sitting there procrastinating, worrying, spending hours or days worrying about things you have no control over. It doesn't happen to be things from the past that directly affect your life. It could be things that you've seen in the news from the past that's still rattling around your mind. You've got to learn to notice them for what exactly they are and let them go. Now the thoughts about the future, slightly different, because you do have control of them, but not right now. So yes, you could be worrying about things like an upcoming job interview, an important business meeting, a presentation you've got, a medical procedure you've got to go through, all this kind of stuff. But until it becomes a present moment, there's not a huge amount of point worrying about it and letting it take over your mind. That's the main point. If you let it take over your mind for an hour, half a day, that's that whole day wasted worrying about something that you cannot control right now. Yes, we can plan for it. We can do some pre-work for it, like a job interview or an important business presentation. Of course you can do that right now. But until that future event becomes your present moment, you don't really have any control over it. So that's, you just got to try and really notice that when your mind starts drifting away to the past, like we talked about, or to the future, notice it for what it is and do what you can in that moment, which will either be some sort of preparation or just letting it go and just telling yourself, Chris, for this moment in time, this present moment, you cannot do anything about it, so focus on what you can do right now. Now if you do catch yourself drifting off into thoughts about the past and the future more than you would like, one of the best techniques I like to use is, when you notice it, just try and find time, if it's safe to do so, just to stop what you're doing and just start taking some deep breaths. And I'm talking about 50. So 50 deep breaths in and out. And what this will do, it'll just bring your mind back to reality. It'll bring your mind back to much more rational thinking, and it will help you notice those thoughts for exactly what they are. And you might think, I haven't got time for that. We're talking about 50 deep breaths. You know, people spend a long time, 30 minutes, an hour scrolling every day. Well, just don't do that scrolling, and instead use that time and spend it wisely. And just take that time out, 50 deep breaths, in and out, and just notice what it does to you. Notice how it makes you feel. And it brings you back to reality, to the rational thinking, like I thought, and really notice what those thoughts are right now. The ones about the past, which we just need to let go, the ones about the future, which you can deal with when they become your present moment. And all this is about is stopping letting your thoughts run your life every single day, and taking back control of your life and taking back control of your mind. In this day and age, especially if you want to have a positive, can-do mindset and attitude, you really need to take action to learn how to control what's going on upstairs. And that's the video for today. Hope you have found it beneficial, and it's just something that came to me because of the thoughts I was having before my eye procedure. As I said, it went well. I had my review today. So as I was saying, I had my review today, had my pressure taken in my eye, and it was all good. And it just goes to prove, you know, those thoughts that I was having beforehand, those worrying thoughts about this upcoming event, were not warranted, and it's something that I'll take forward into the future. So if I am doing or have to go through another operation or any kind of health issue, I will remind myself I've been through these kind of things before, and these thoughts are not reality, and it probably won't be as bad as the story my mind's trying to tell me it's going to be. So I hope that you have found today's video beneficial, all about the importance of learning how to control your thoughts on a daily basis, the ones about the past and the ones about the future. And as always, if you could subscribe, like, share and comment, I would be incredibly grateful, as it really does help me build this channel bigger and better. And you can stick it in the comments if you think I could start a natty wee trend with these new glasses. What do you think? I'll leave you there now. Have a great day. Onwards and upwards.